In this video, we'll now go through the steps for a successful snow pit with snow density and temperature measurements. The first step is to dig a trench about 1.5 meters wide. Try to make a smooth and uniform surface for the snow wall you will be using for measurements. After that, you can place the snow ruler next to the snow wall. That will be your reference for the snow depth. Then we'll take snow density measurements every 5 centimeters. For that, we will use a snow cutter. You have two snow cutter types, the cubic one and the triangular one. To use the cubic one, which is great for the wind slab, the top of the snowpack, you insert it in the snow. Then with a small nudge, it should allow you to remove it with the snow inside. Once removed, check both sides to be sure it is full of snow, there's no air gaps. And then cut the exceeding snow with the top cutter. Once it's done, you can now drop the snow that you have in the cutter inside a plastic bag. The plastic bag can be suspended to a spring scale, and you can now read the snow weight in the bag. Make sure to calibrate the spring scale at first when you arrive on site. You suspend the bag, there's a small screw on top, so just make sure to align it to 0 when there's no snow in the bag. When you read your snow weight, then record it in the field notebook along with which type of cutter you used. In the depth or the crumbly snow at the bottom of the snowpack, the cubic cutter is not really efficient. You will prefer to use the triangular one. That works in a similar way. You insert it in the snow in the same manner than the cubic one. Then you insert the top part to cut the snow. When it's done, you can remove it from the snow. Check the cutter to be sure it's filled properly, no air gap again, and then you can drop it in the bag also and make a snow weight reading. When you know the snow depth at which the density measurement is taken, try to check for about the middle of the snow cutter. That's the snow depth we want. And parallel to those snow density measurements, you can take the snow temperature measurements with the thermometer. Just insert the thermometer in the snow, wait a few seconds for the temperature to equilibrate, and then just read the temperature on the thermometer. Finally, before leaving, record the thickness of the wind slab, the dense cohesive layer on the top of the snowpack. And also grab the snow probe and just walk a bit around the snow pit, taking 4 or 5 snow depths reading. After all of this is done, you can roughly fill back the snow pit with the exceeding snow you removed and mark the location and return back home. Once back in town, you can take a picture of the notebook and send it directly to me so I can analyze the data and archive it. And then the last task of the day will be to transfer the gas from the syringes to the vials for long-term storage. We will do that in town and I'll explain it in the next video.